Chief Executive Carrie has started the community dialogue that she proposed to help Hong Kong find a way out. What are some of the topics that will be most likely to be brought up by the public?
Well, I think that the most important problems for the public, in Hong Kong, really concern things like housing and land supply, and also livelihood issue, the prospects for our young people and so on. So these are really about economic, housing, and livelihood issues. But whether those will be the focus of these dialogues remain to be seen, because people voluntarily signed up for this dialogue, and that might include actually a lot of radicals. Mm-hmm. And I do think that the government has to show its will in tackling this problem by increasing the land supply through various means, including, for example, reclamation and opening up more land in the new territories.
The Hong Kong Human Rights and Democracy Act is inching closer to becoming a U.S. law. The Chinese Foreign Ministry has labeled this act foreign interference in Chinese domestic politics and strongly opposes the U.S. pushing this act forward. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's a blatant interference, in Chinese domestic matters. It's actually a very direct interference in Hong Kong itself. The act is very specific. If certain, for example, criteria are not met, but again, these are very subjective and also very easily politicized, then Hong Kong will face consequences. So immediately you can see that Hong Kong really bears the brunt of this proposed legislation. Really two aspects of it. First of all, it really hurts our economy and our status as a international financial center, because just to have this legislation being discussed and being analyzed and looked into, I think that it doesn't do confidence in Hong Kong any good, especially for the international investors. And secondly, because the act is supposed to defend, for example, democracy and things like that for Hong Kong, it actually emboldens the radicals in Hong Kong, in their resistance, in their really, all kinds of disruptive, behavior that's going on right now. So this is actually, it doesn't do, Hong Kong any good either in terms of bringing back the peace and the calm. So I really cannot imagine that the majority of the Hong Kong people, if they really know about the contents and the consequences of this proposed act, would be in its favor.